I guess the narrative for today's game hunting adventure in this week's episode is pad the PS5 collection. And you'll see what I mean when I show you these pickups. It's been a few weeks, so let's head into Value Pawn, see if we can find anything good for trade-in to GameStop, or maybe to add to the collection. Let's go. Y'all, that was a huge score. So, as soon as I walked in, I noticed that their game selection was fairly depleted, but they had PS5 games. And one immediately stuck out because it's one I've been wanting to add to the collection, so I figured I'd try. They also had a couple other things that were interesting, including a couple games that I thought, if I could get them for cheap enough, would absolutely be worth trading in. I got them for cheap enough. So let's go ahead and go over everything. So for starters, and I thought this was a terrific deal, based on what it is and the condition, can't go wrong. A DualShock 4 for the PS4. It is the camo edition. It looks good. I don't see anything immediately wrong with it, so that's great. They only wanted $15, which is really low for a PS4 controller, especially because at GameStop they trade in for $20 before any bonuses, so I can get $22 in trading credit for this, which is terrific. So definitely going to do that. Easy money. Then we got the games I picked up for trade-in, and these are pretty crazy. I did pay a premium for a lot of these, but not as much of a premium as you'd think. So for starters, WWE 2K22 on the PS4. This is the newest WWE game. It just came out back in March, I believe, so it's fairly new. They only wanted $10 for it. This game trades in base for $30 at GameStop. And with the 30% bonus, I can get almost $40 for this game. So I absolutely killed it on that one. This one I didn't kill it on quite as much, but I did ask for an additional discount and they gave it to me by essentially giving me an extra $3 off this game. But it's also worth quite a bit of money. We have F1 2022 on the PS5. So you wouldn't think a racing game on the PS5 would be worth a ton. This game trades in at GameStop for $35 base. I paid $32. After the bonus, I can get almost $50. Yeah. So I still did really well on that one. And then the game I got to keep, and I think this was an absolute score. Now granted, it is missing some of the extras that's supposed to come with it, but the fact that I got it with the slipcover and the steelbook case and the disc in good condition, I'm a happy camper. Sifu, the Vengeance Edition on the PS5. It's got the steelbook. It is missing the art book and the lithographs, but everything else is here. They only wanted $15, which again, for a PS5 game, especially one like this, that's like a special edition, it's a great price. So I paid a lot for those 4 items, but when you consider the fact that I can trade in 3 of them for, I believe, over $100, it's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. So essentially I got Sifu for free, and I've got a ton of trading credit that I can use towards some of the stuff I'm picking up. So pretty happy. Anyway, on to the next. Stop number 2 is La Familia. I'm now and again I score here, so we'll see if this week is a lucky week or a not so lucky week. Let's go. Well, that was a fun adventure. So I went in there, and they did have a few new games that I was interested in, including Bloodborne, which I'm always on the lookout for because that game is surprisingly worth a lot in trade-in. But also, I traded in my copy, so I need a new one for myself. That was too much, so it was overpriced. But one game that I saw immediately, I'm like, well, that's too good of a deal to pass up. Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS4 for $2. Never seen a game that cheap, especially Grand Theft Auto, which is worth a minimum of $9 in trade-in at GameStop. Then I saw another copy that they wanted $12 for. So I asked, well, why is this one $2 and the other one $12? And they told me it's because the one that's $2 was sitting for a while, so they marked it down. But also it was an error. So I would have gotten both. My goal was to get both for $4, which would have been incredible. we essentially split the difference because I was willing to get them both if they were giving me a good price. So essentially they gave me them for $5 a piece. So I paid 10 for these, both copies, which is not terrible because like I said, base they traded to GameStop for $9. And with the bonuses, I could get, I think, 11. So I'm gonna get like 12 bucks profit off of these two games that I paid 10 bucks for. So nice and easy score to add to the trade-in pile. Let's head to our next place and see what we can find. Next stop is Family Dollar. Yes, so I've been informed by a few different YouTubers who I watch who are game hunters that Family Dollar has been doing a clearance on video games where if they have video games, they're $2 a piece. Now, I have seen video games at this Family Dollar before. It's never been anything good, but for $2, I think it's at least worth a look. So I'm gonna take a look, see if there's anything worth picking up, and I'll let you know what happens. No video games in there today. Oh well, it is what it is, but I did get a couple drinks, so at least I'll be able to stay hydrated. Anyway, on to the next pawn shop. Like the first value pawn we went to today, Simple Pawn has become an every now and again pawn shop just because last few times I've gone, they haven't had any good deals. Prices are too high or they just don't have good games. It's been a few weeks, maybe things are different this time. Let's go. Well, apparently patience paid off when it came to Simple Pawn because I picked up 4 games. And I guess the narrative for today's game hunting adventure in this week's episode is pad the PS5 collection. And you'll see what I mean when I show you these pickups. So first off, I picked this up mostly because it's a complete copy. It's in really good shape. I only have a disc-only copy currently. So I figured it was worth grabbing a really nice looking copy that has the box. Gran Turismo 5, the XL edition on the PS3. Like I said, I have a disc-only copy currently, but this one's in much better shape. It has the box. It does not have the manual, but it's got everything else. So for $5, I figured it was worth the upgrade. Now I can add the disc-only copy to my trade pile. So there we go. Now for the next 3, the prices that they were quoting were already pretty good, but I got them down even more. So now they're pretty spectacular prices. So first off, Sackboy, a big adventure on the PS5. They originally wanted $10, which to be honest, is a really good price. This game normally goes for about 30. I got it down to 7. So I paid $7 for a PS5 game. It's a launch title. It's one I didn't own. Solid. Best game of the bunch by far. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on the PS5. They originally wanted $20 for this game. I got it for $15. This is a $70 game on PS5 still. So that tells you, and it's got everything in it. It's got the code, it's got the disc. I'll have to try the code when I get home. But everything's here. $15 for Ratchet & Clank on PS5. Can't go wrong with that. And then, as an added flipper, I figured I'd look it up. It's worth a little bit more than what I paid, so I figured I'd grab it. We have Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PS4. This is just the regular version of Miles Morales. Does not include Spider-Man Remastered. They originally wanted 10. I got it for 7. It trades into GameStop for about 11 after bonuses. So, nice $4 profit. So yeah, 2 more PS5 games to add to the collection for a really good price, as well as a PS3 game in almost complete form, and 1 more game to flip. Today has been surprisingly good. Did not expect there to be this many hits out and about today, especially from the places that they've been at, because it's been the places I haven't checked in a while. Value Pawn and Simple Pawn that have really come through, but they've come through in a big way. On to the next. Say it with me now. You know what time it is. It's Cash America time. Let's head in, see if we got any deals this week. Sadly, it's a rare bust. As you saw, they didn't really have anything great. Most of the good games were picked over, mostly by me. A couple that were left when I left were gone, so that's okay. Can't score every week there, but considering everything else I've scored this week, I'm a pretty happy camper. I might stop at Value Pawn, the other Value Pawn, just to see if they've got anything. I'm not counting on it, but you never know. Let's go see. Well, since I struck out Cash America, might as well see if Value Pawn's got anything. I've been lucky at my rarely score at places this week, so maybe today will continue. Let's go. Yeah, that was a bust as expected. It's funny because they also had Sifu and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on PS5, but I know their prices are going to be significantly higher than what I ended up paying for those two. So the main games I was looking at in there, and I didn't film a clip, I should have, but they had a bunch of loose Switch games. And sometimes you can get a good deal on loose Switch games. Not in this case. They had Mario Kart 8, Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, and Splatoon 2. And I would have been interested in all of those. They wanted 30 for Splatoon and 40 for Donkey Kong or Mario Kart Loose. So that is a hell no. Way too much for a loose copy. So, hard pass, but that's okay. Scored pretty big. We got a good amount of trading credit coming our way, so I'm gonna head over to GameStop. Gonna trade in everything and pick up some stuff. So let's head over. At last, here we are at GameStop. I'm gonna be trading in a bunch of the stuff I picked up today. Picking up a new game, paying off another one that I'll pick up tomorrow. And who knows, maybe we'll get some extra stuff. Let's head in and see what we got. All right, so that was an interesting trip to GameStop. Traded in everything, including my copy of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 that was kind of messed up from the last episode. And the great thing is I got $9 for it, even with a refurb fee. So that's awesome. But what did I get with all that credit? Well, in total, I got $150 in trade-in for everything. Now keep in mind, grand total, I will go over in terms of what I spent for all this stuff today. But I got $150 in credit, which is more than what I paid for everything. But what did I keep? Well, I full paid a game that I'll be picking up tomorrow, and I picked up today Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection on the Nintendo Switch. This includes a whole bunch of classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games, ranging from the Game Boy to the arcade to the NES, the Super Nintendo. Whole bunch of classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games on one collection. Apparently it's really good. I enjoyed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the early 90s. It was good stuff, so I figured, you know what, it'd be kind of cool to check out the collection, especially because new it's $40. So pretty happy to add that to my Switch collection. And then in terms of everything else that I'm getting, including a package and the other game that I'm getting from GameStop, you'll see that tomorrow. It's like I was just here, because I was. Time to pick up one more pre-ordered game, and maybe something else, who knows. Let's go in, see what we get. So they didn't actually have my pre-order in yet, but it might just have not arrived yet. But I decided to continue the trend of padding the PS5 collection this week by picking up another PS5 game, and that is Demon's Souls on the PS5. Normally it goes for $37. I had a $5 coupon, then knocked $5, plus I had leftover credit from yesterday, so I only paid $11 out of pocket for it. Pretty good. To add another PS5 exclusive to my collection. So anyway, I'm going to Walmart now to do my grocery shopping for the week, and then I will possibly be back again to pick up my pre-order. So yeah, let's do that. Well, it's time yet again to do another giant recap of everything I picked up, and of course I have a couple things that you did not see me pick up that I will share in a second. So as you saw, this week was a very PS5 heavy week. Of course, if you've been watching my videos recently, you know that I just picked up a PlayStation 5. Actually, that's the most popular video on my channel now, so yay for that. But, of course, whenever you pick up a new console, you have to pick up some games to go along with it, and I did a number on the number of must-play games on PS5. So, I didn't pay a whole lot of money for them, which makes it even better. So we're going to start off with our first location we went to this week, which was Value Pawn. And this is a Value Pawn that I don't go to very often and usually don't score at, but they happen to have some PS5 games that would sell me for pretty cheap. Now, of course, I picked up some stuff that I traded in GameStop and got a good amount of credit for, and we'll go over that at the end. But I did pick up one game that I kept, and that is Sifu, the Vengeance Edition on the PS5. Sifu looks really, really good. It is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and I got the version that comes with the Steelbook. Didn't come with all the other extras, but it came with the slipcover and the Steelbook, and honestly, that was fine with me. I paid 15 bucks for this. For a PS5 game, it's worth 36. That's crazy. So definitely good value there. Very happy to add that to the PS5 collection. Next, we're going to go to Simple Pawn, another pawn shop I don't score at all the time. And we picked up some more really good stuff. But before we get to more PS5, here's a PS3 break. Gran Turismo 5 XL Edition on the PS3. I believe I have this in disc-only form, but now I have a copy with the box. So I figured it was worth grab, especially for how cheap they were asking. So I'll just flip the other copy. Anyway, I paid $5 for this. It's worth $9. Pretty solid addition to the collection. Then we got more PS5 games, and they had more. Just the prices they were asking weren't amazing. Like they had Godfall, which I'll pick up if I can find it for dirt cheap, but yeah, not here. Anyway, first one we got is Sackboy, A Big Adventure on the PS5. This, of course, is a PS5 launch title. It looks fun. It's a spin-off of Little Big Planet. I do enjoy the Little Big Planet games, and I've heard this is a good platformer, so I figured it was worth a grab. I paid $7 for this, and it's worth $23. So again, dirt cheap prices for PS5 games. Can't go wrong. This one was one as soon as I saw it and as soon as I saw the price, I had to have it. Plus, they knocked a little bit more off, so maybe even better. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, the launch edition on the PS5. What was even better is it had the code for the launch edition content in it, and it worked. So I got a legit launch edition of Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on the PS5. Now again, if you don't know, PS5 games go for about 70 bucks brand new. I paid 15 bucks for this. It's worth 31, so absolute slam dunk. Then I went to GameStop. And GameStop, of course, I traded in a bunch of stuff because I found some really good things to trade in and got a good amount of value. I spent $77 on the games that I traded into GameStop and got $150.90, so more than a double up. Pretty fantastic. And what did I get with all that? Well, I did pay off some pre-orders and bought an expensive game that unfortunately has not come in yet, and I'm going to share that story in a future episode of Bargain Game Hunter, probably when that game actually comes in. But I did pay off an expensive pre-order. We'll talk about that later. But a game that was out that I did pick up right away was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection on the Switch. This is a collection of a whole bunch of classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, all in one chip. Looks great. I figured it was a great addition to the collection. 40 bucks. And it's worth 40 because it's a brand new release game. So, pretty happy to add that to my collection. But I wasn't content with that. So I figured, let's keep the PS5 train running and grab Demon Souls on the PS5. So again, this is a remake of the PS3 game made by Bluepoint. It was a launch title. It looks really, really good. I'm probably going to suck at it because I suck at all the Dark Souls-like games. But I figured it was worth having, and it's a must-play game on the PS5. I paid $11 out of pocket for this, and it's worth 30 bucks. So, a lonely 11 out of pocket, plus some credit. Pretty happy to grab another quality PS5 game to add to the collection. But I wasn't done, because I had to go back to GameStop later in the week to pick up my Pokemon Lost Origin pre-orders, because of course the new Pokemon set just came out, and I do a lot of Pokemon videos on my main channel. But I decided, you know what, there's a game I've been wanting for a while. It wasn't on like a deep clearance, but it was a clearance and I could get it for fairly cheap. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just grab it. Stranger in Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin on the PS5. It was on sale for 43 bucks at GameStop. Again, normally this is a $70 game and it's worth 47. So a little bit of a bump. This game looks cool. Again, it's like another Dark Souls-like, but with Final Fantasy, you get to kill chaos. So I figured it was worth grabbing on PS5. And then this one, I think a lot of people are going to be excited for. I will be excited for it when I eventually get to playing it. It might be a bit just because I haven't beaten the first game, but this was one of the games, like Miles Morales, where it came out and I was planning on buying it, but I wanted to wait until I got a PS5 because I want to play it in all its, 4K amazing glory. So that's what I did. But even better, Horizon Forbidden West on the PS5. Now, this is a first-party PlayStation game. Came out fairly recently. I didn't pay $1 out of pocket for this. And the reason why is because at work, we have this system where I can earn points for doing various things. And I earned enough points in my first couple weeks to buy this game. So I didn't pay a dime for this. Pretty awesome. So shout out to Comcast and the exchange program, which allowed me to get this for free. I paid nothing, and it is worth $53. So can't complain getting a $50 PlayStation 5 game for free. So yeah, pretty effective week. We got some pretty solid heavy hitters to really jumpstart my PS5 collection. I already had some good ones with Deathloop and Ghostwire and Spider-Man and Pac-Man. I guess we don't really want to count 3D Mini Golf, but that's there too. But now, man, I got a nice, strong PS5 library, plus all the PS Plus games, and it's only going to get stronger from here. So that is going to do it for this episode of The Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new around here, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. I'm actually doing a series right now for Let's Play Spooky Games for Halloween Spooktacular, where I play Ghostwire Tokyo on the PlayStation 5. So if you want to see gameplay of a PS5 game, be sure to check that out. If you haven't played Ghostwire or don't know much about it, it's pretty cool. It's very creepy, very interesting game, so I've enjoyed what I played of it. So be sure to watch and see how I do. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next episode of The Bargain Game Hunter.